Okay, so today we're going to be making some homemade yeast rolls. We're going to start off with a can of evaporated milk. I warmed it up. To that, we're going to add in a half a cup of warm water. Add that in. We're going to stir in 1/4 cup of melted butter, 1/4 cup of sugar, and we're going to add in 2 1/2 teaspoon of yeast. And we're going to give this a stir. And we're going to let it sit for 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to be adding in 4 cups of bread flour into my bowl, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and we're going to mix this up. Okay, as you see, my yeast is ready. It has foamed on the top, and here's the side of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to beat 1 egg and add this into that mixture. Adding in 1 egg. Going to add the mixture into the flour. And gradually stir together to incorporate some dough. It's going to be kind of moist while watering, and that's what we want. We want a nice sticky consistency. Okay, so now our dough mixture is all mixed. It's really sticky. So what we're going to do is you need to clean your surface. After you clean your surface, we want to lightly flour it down. Once you flour it, but we want to continue to knead it inside itself. And as I'm doing this, what I'm going to also do is add in some butter. I've added in, this is about 4 tablespoons, 1/4 cup of butter. And I'm also going to incorporate that into my dough mixture. Okay, so you'll know your dough is ready if you push down on it and it spring back up. So what we're going to do now is grease a bowl, and we're going to proof this for about an hour. Okay, so I have my dough. I grease it up and grease my pan. I'm just going to cover it with some saran wrap. Okay, so to speed up the proofing process, what I'm going to do is use my Instant Pot. So once again, I'm going to hit my yogurt button. I want this on normal, and I want this about 30 minutes. And what I normally do is just place my pan on top of the Instant Pot and allow the Instant Pot to do its thing. What I also going to do, I'm going to cover it with a dry cloth. Just like that. Just make sure you keep an eye out for it. Once this has risen, I'll be right back. I placed some flour on my surface. My dough has risen. I'm going to pop this. Woo! Okay, so my dough is nice and soft. And what I'm going to do is actually take this and cut this in half. It's kind of easier for me to work with, smaller pieces. So I'm going to put this over to the side. And what I'm going to do is cut this in half as well. And put this in a bowl, and then cut this in half as well. And then one more time. So this is the size that I'm going to be working with. I'm going to knead this. Okay, so we would like our balls to be nice and taut on the top, and then the bottom is going to be the ugly side. So we really want this top to be really taut, and we're going to continue to do this with each piece. Flatten it out. And then we're going to make it nice and taut. So it's best to use both hands to do this process. And then you're going to continue that with each piece of dough. Okay, so I am using a glass baking dish, which is about 9, I guess it's about 12 by, I'm not sure exactly the size, but anyway, I'm going to line this pan with some parchment paper, and then I'm going to place the dough that I've rolled, the dough balls in on top of the parchment paper, like so. Okay, so once again, I'm going to show you how to, form those into a ball. So we're going to cut a half, and we're going to flatten it out a bit. Once we flatten it out, we're going to bring all the ends to the middle. And we want to keep on spinning it as we bringing the top down, tucking it underneath the bottom until the top is completely smooth. But like I said, it would be easier to do this if you use both hands because you're pulling the sides and tucking it underneath at the same time. And once it's done, you're finished tucking, you can see you have a smooth top, but the bottom is where you can see where you've done all your tucking. And then you're going to place this on your baking sheet or cooking pan to rise. Okay, so I have a dozen rows here. What I'm going to do is cover them and let them proof. So the first time when I put it in the Instapot, I had them rising, my dough rising. Now it's time to proof my bread. So I'm going to cover this and set it in a warm spot to allow it to proof.